If you've heard the word creatine and immediately thought, isn't that just for bodybuilders or just athletes? Well, you're not alone. I have gotten that question many times from various people over the years and wondering what creatine is all about and whether or not it's something that could work for them. So I just want to stop you from thinking that it's only for bodybuilders or just athletes because creatine is something that can be for just about anyone. And it's not about guys just packing on muscle or something. It's actually one of the most researched, most effective, and dare I say, most underrated supplements for women, especially women over 40 and those navigating the wild world of perimenopause. Hi, I'm Dr. Jamie Krzykowski. I'm an athletic trainer, sports nutritionist, and holistic health expert. And I don't just coach, I help women over 40 reclaim their God given vitality. I combine faith, functional science, and fierce strategy to help you balance hormones, burn stubborn fat, boost energy, and finally feel like yourself again without compromising your values or your sanity. Today, we're breaking it all down. What creatine actually is, how it helps build muscle and preserve it, why it's a brain booster too, what the research says, and why this could be the perfect partner to pair with peptides if you're ready to feel strong, focused, and energized again. So let's go. What is creatine? Creatine is a naturally occurring compound, and it's made from three amino acids, glycine, arginine, and methionine. And your body actually produces creatine in small amounts, but we also get it from foods like our red meats and fish. But here's the thing, the amount that we make in our bodies is really not that much. And what we eat usually isn't enough to really optimize what creatine can do in the body. This is how supplementation really started. Creatine is stored in the muscles and it's used as quick energy, especially during high intensity activity like sprinting or lifting. But it also plays a huge role in brain energy metabolism. And when we supplement with it, creatine can help to saturate those muscles and the brain stores so that we can think more clearly, move more powerfully, and recover more easily. So, does that sound pretty good to you? Well, it does to me. This is why creatine is such a game changer for our muscles. All right, let's start with the obvious. Creatine is well known for supporting muscle growth. And here's how it works. When you lift or sprint or do something that requires short bursts of energy, your body will use an energy source called ATP, and that's adenosine triphosphate. Don't worry, you don't have to remember that. But creatine helps to regenerate our ATP because as we use it and it breaks down, then creatine is there to provide a ready source to replenish that ATP so that we can push harder, we can lift heavier, and we can recover better. Now, because of that, this leads to an increase in lean muscle mass, improved strength and performance, better recovery after workouts, and yes, preserving muscle as we age. But just keep in mind that it doesn't magically do this. We need to do the workouts in order to have the creatine need to replace the ATP for us to use that energy. Okay. So I hope that makes sense. It's not magically doing something for us. We have to do the work. Now, here's another thing. If you are a woman in your 40s or older, I really want you to listen to this. Research shows that we lose 3 to 8% of our muscle mass every decade after age 30. And so if we don't do something about it, then we could be losing so much muscle mass over just a few decades of life. And that makes us weaker. It makes it more difficult to just function in our everyday life. It's really not ideal if we're trying to keep our metabolism running, carrying our groceries, or feeling confident in our clothes. And with that metabolism, muscle burns more calories than fat. So the more muscle that we lose, then the slower our metabolism is going to get. Now, the good news is creatine has been shown in many studies. And there was one in particular just in 2021 that showed that it helped to reverse age-related muscle loss, especially when it was combined with resistance training. And so not a surprise, right? Because we do the work and we have the creatine to support that energy. We're able to work out a little bit heavier and not get fatigued as quickly. Now, we also want to just think about creatine for women in perimenopause. So, when we're talking about hormones, during perimenopause, estrogen starts doing basically it's on a roller coaster, right? And so, estrogen plays a role in muscle maintenance, energy, and even brain function. As estrogen drops, so can our strength, our stamina, and our focus. And this is where creatine can really step in and be a good support system. Now, there was a 2022 study published in Nutrients that found that creatine may support women during perimenopause and menopause by reducing fatigue, supporting muscle retention, improving strength, and even supporting mood and cognitive function. Another study in psychopharmacology back in 2007 found that creatine supplementation improved mood and cognitive performance in women with depression. And let's be honest, hormone shifts can make us feel like we're living in a brain fog. Anything that helps lift that fog, especially naturally, is worth considering. So, creatine is good for your brain too. And it's not just all about muscles. And thinking about our brains using a lot of energy every day. I mean, it's like 20% of our total energy expenditure is from our brain functioning. Creatine can help to keep that energy flowing, especially during stress or when we have mental fatigue. The research on creatine shows that it may help improve working memory and short-term recall, reduce mental fatigue, support mood and reduce symptoms of depression, and help to protect the brain from age-related decline. In a 2018 study published in the Frontiers of Nutrition, creatine was shown to improve cognitive performance in older adults and those that were experiencing high stress. So if you're balancing a million responsibilities, dealing with brain fog, or feel like your brain just needs a boost, then this is your sign that creatine could be the simple and safe support that you need. Now, let me just give you a little bit of information about how to take it. If you're ready to try it, well, here's a few of the basics. First of all, never start a new supplement regimen without consulting your healthcare provider, especially if you have a chronic health condition or you're on medications or anything. When it comes to dosing, you can keep it pretty basic with just starting with 3 to 5 grams of creatine monohydrate daily. Now, monohydrate is the most well-studied form of creatine. And my favorite brands would be Native Path, Native Creatine. So the brand is Native Path and the kind is Native Creatine. And First Form micronized creatine monohydrate. From a timing perspective, you can take it anytime, though post-workout or with a meal can help with the absorption. And I would recommend starting out with taking it in divided doses. So if you're going to take 3 to 5 grams in a given day, maybe take 1.5 or 2 and do it in a couple of different doses, maybe with breakfast and lunch or something, and then maybe 1 gram after your workout or something. Because it can have an effect on the gut. There can be a side effect of just a little GI distress if you take it all at once. And it's not because it's harming the gut, it's more that the gut's not used to getting that much in that form if you're taking it in a supplement form all at once. And so divided doses can be a little bit easier on the gut, and you can spread that out throughout the day. Now, our bodies will store it, and so it's not something that we just flush out right away. We will use it. It's not like water-soluble vitamins that we flush out in our urine. Now, hydration is really important when you're taking creatine. You have to make sure that you're getting plenty of water. It's good to get electrolytes as well. And that's with most things, right? Our bodies are going to function better overall if we are well hydrated. And it will really help creatine to work more efficiently. Now, there is a loading dose that sometimes people are just like, oh, I have to do the loading dose. Well, you don't have to do a loading dose. But that's not a loading dose is not required. You can do one, and if you were, you would do 0.3 to 0.5 grams per kilogram of body weight, and then you would do that for about 5 days. So 0.3 to 0.5 grams per kilogram body weight for about 5 days. But it's really not necessary. And if you don't want to have to do the math and figure it out, a consistent daily dose will work just as well over time as a loading dose. Now, I mentioned a little bit about a little GI upset if you take too much too soon or take it all in one dose. But the most common side effect actually is a little bit of water retention, especially at the beginning when you first start taking it. And so it's not bad. It's hydration, it's not fat. And that's why even divided doses can help with that a little bit as well. And despite the old rumors, creatine is one of the safest and most studied supplements that's out there, even with long-term usage. So check out the position statement from the International Society of Sports Nutrition. It's the position statement on creatine usage and effectiveness. And that was from, I believe, 2017, the International Society of Sports Nutrition, because they give the whole breakdown of the benefits of creatine usage, as well as more about side effects. Again, the main one being water retention. Now, creatine is not a hormone. It doesn't mess with your system at all. It just supports what your body's already doing and helps it do it better. Here's another thing to go along with the creatine. When you pair it with peptides, you can really supercharge your results. So combining it can make a really big difference. Peptides help signal muscle building, as well as improving fat metabolism and supporting insulin sensitivity and hormone balance. So all of these things work beautifully alongside the strength and energy benefits of creatine. When you pair the two, it can really create amazing results, especially in that over 40 crowd who are tired of spinning their wheels and not seeing any changes. For more information, check out my longer YouTube video entitled, Is Your Body Missing the Signal to Let Go of Fat? Because I break down more about peptides there, and then again, learning a little bit more about that and being able to combine that. The peptides that I recommend are third-party tested, they are clinically backed, and have a 60-day money-back guarantee, and you can find the link below. Here's the bottom line. If you want to build lean muscle mass, boost your brain power, increase your energy and endurance, support your body during perimenopause, and see better results from your strength training, then creatine might just be your new BFF. It's safe, it's affordable, and it's incredibly effective when paired with movement. We have to do the exercise, proper nutrition, as well as peptides. And if you haven't tried it yet, then maybe this is a perfect opportunity to give it a try. And don't forget to check out my video on strength training for women over 40, where I talk about how to maximize your workout results, because that's another component that we have to make sure that we are mastering as well. I will link that below. Thanks for hanging out with me today. If you've got questions, drop them in the comments or shoot me a message. I love connecting with you. And I encourage you to like this video, subscribe, share it with someone else who could benefit from it. Let's keep growing this community. We want to be stronger, sharper in body, mind, and spirit, and we want to do it together. So here's to strong, lean bodies and health and vibrance.